Hello, welcome. I thought just for fun, kinda, I would do a recap video of the digital collages that I've done in January 2022 instead of using some epic music and animation. I'll just straight up show some images and maybe talk about a few of them. We'll see how it goes here. So let's see, that's the title and the nice background color. And here's one that I did today. This is just a thumbnail for the video I did about, well, really it came out of a frustration for trying to upload audio to ACX to do a book on Audible. And I think I solved it, at least for me. I'm not sure this solves it for everybody, but I think it gets you on the right track kind of quickly, even though it's like a 20-minute video. I did include like a quick start guide, which I need to go back and put a link to now that I think about it. But you can see here, that's me talking and some butterflies on top of the sound wave that it makes in Audacity for you. And then over to the far right, you can see ACX, which is same as Audible, really. And you can see that the goal is to have this, when you click on audio analysis, that it says no issues found in uploaded files. Because it is really frustrating to spend all that time recording. And then it's really not much you can do if you didn't have all this in place to begin with. Except do it over again and again and again. And that starts to take some of the joy out of it. So let's move on here. So this one's not too long. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd. And what you see there, these are all, public domain stuff. And then altered and smudged and recolored and outlined and all sorts of things you can do in Procreate digitally anyway. And it's all with a pencil. So to me, it still feels a lot like doing something by hand, even though this is public domain photos and public domain images and drawings and illustrations there's just so many out there. It's unbelievable. Could spend the rest of my life doing these things. Now, whether they mean anything or whatever, it's up to each of us individually. But I called this one, if I recall, Confluence, because what's in the background here is like 3 photos from different angles at Harper's Ferry. And I kind of muddled them together and came up with something that looks like, overall, there's kind of a heart shape and the confluence of, I believe that's the Shenandoah River and the Potomac River coming together, where you see the 3 blue roses and the heart at the tip of the angel-like person's sword. So that was today. And this is going to be backwards, but these are in reverse order. But on Tuesday, I took the picture I'd done the day before and showed it from inside the car that's shining the lights on this woman standing outside. Hopefully you can see her there. Kind of another woman up here in the misty sky. Street lamp, a red, oldest gas street lamp, I believe, judging from the fumes coming out the top. But I just, thinking this is like maybe a detective guy or a PI, private eye, following somebody. So that was the second one. Here's the original one, where she's just kind of frozen there in front of the headlights of that car. Pretty much the same lady in the sky and the same gas lamp. It just got reversed a little. I think I got my perspective off, but this is what you do to try to get better at this, I suppose. Plus, I just enjoy it, whether it's to get better or not. I've been enjoying this for, I think in 18 days, it will be a year now. I have 270 some of these that I've put together. So sometimes I skip a day, so not every day has been done. But here's Sunday, this past Sunday. I found this cool picture of some sort of statue or sculpture with many arms on it. And that's a library somewhere with books and a ladder. Gave her a horseshoe, shiny horseshoe belt, and you can kind of see hands inside her there. You know, very apt for a librarian, right? But I don't go into these trying to make anything for a particular purpose or any sort of symbology. If it happens, for me, it's purely by chance. So here is last Saturday. This one, I can't remember the name for all of these. I think this one I called Forward when I put it up on Fine Art America or Instagram. I've been putting some on Instagram, which ends up on Facebook as well. But you can see a girl who's probably remembering being a smaller girl, and horses, ponies, whatever. The ocean's kind of there. And some of these things come to you after you've put these together, selected images. Another fun part of this is the first thing in the morning after checking email is I go and look at these photos and illustrations on different sites. Google's a good one if you turn on the rights to be Creative Commons for the search within images. Also Unsplash, Pexels, Pexels is a good one. There's just so many. I keep finding them. Sometimes I just find them because of a Google. But so there's that one. Here's last Friday, which often I kind of wouldn't say that I would get one and want it around all the time. But this one I like, and I couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's the colors. I spent a lot of time on this little boat here. You can see my signatures like a flag at the top of the boat. Outline of faces in the background. I have a lot of faces. You'll also notice, without this being deliberate, that in a lot of times there's like it's not really a trilogy. It's not really a trinity, but you'll see 3 of something in almost all of these. Not deliberate. It just seems to happen that way. Here's last Thursday, I believe. A little hard to see. Is something else I need to work on. Is learning to make them black and white and then get the shading and the shadow and all that stuff correct. There's those blue roses again. It looks kind of, I think it was snowing heavy that day. You can see it's looking a little sad or depressed here with the roses. Not that snow will make you sad, but out of all these windows in this big apartment place back here, only one light is on. What's going on there? And you see a really smooth marble, I believe, carved statue of 2 people kind of hugging, embracing, whatever they're doing. And then some blurry images from some sci-fi image I found somewhere. Over top of that's snow falling. So, I don't know, maybe this doesn't work to have someone try to talk through these, but I just thought this would be maybe something different than listening to music that may or may not match up with the images. Here you see the idea of the 3 again. This guy's kind of it's a sculpture somewhere. The face is not complete, but enough of it there to see it. And it's in a question mark. I put it on top of a cauldron, which is burning something near a lake, purple lake, with a fire underneath. Okay, it's Tuesday, and I don't remember what I called this one either, but you can see a Russian doll in there and some of those Russian buildings in the back. It's like all underneath a train station, a couple people going off in the distance there in the middle. And each one of these Fabergé eggs, I forget what you call them, has a bear inside it. You can barely see the bear there. All of this against a brick wall. I have no explanation, but I thought it looked cool. And then way back on Monday, January 24th, I did this one, which has a man and a woman. I think I call it, I can't remember, something about conflict or unresolved. Gosh, I should have looked at the names first. When I save them, I just save the date. I make up the name when I put them on Instagram or Fine Art America. But there's a suffragette-like image, lady in the bed, a guy standing here looking. But he's really not looking at her. He's really looking at this lady who's kind of standing on the ceiling. Then there's this old mirror with this strange-looking face in it. Two faces in the background, man and woman, not looking at each other. So here's the next one from last or some Sunday. And again, these are two sculptures. And if you look close, you can see what might appear to be a wizard with some electric-like activity coming from his fingers over to this fire he's got going in this brass thing. If you look close in the fire, you'll see like his face echoed, but it's not really his face. That's from another carving. They kind of match up though. And in the background, again with the snow, because it's been snowing a lot here, I guess it's stuck in my brain. You see another face, that the old man winter kind of thing, where he's blowing cold frost, whatever, air out down on this guy. Okay, let's see. The next one, I participated in this challenge on Instagram. I've never done this before, but somebody put out a really complicated Procreate file, basically just to be a cup tilted on its side like this, which I found strange. So I took something I'd drawn the previous day and kind of made it fit on here. So that's the challenge. I don't know what I win with the challenge. I guess nothing. But here's the original version. Sometimes I find it interesting to mix like illustrations that you color in, add details to, with actual photos of a forest here. A photo of a man walking off with a cane there. You've got what looks like a Buddha kind of smiling or thinking all's going to be okay, with hands folded into each other there in icy winter conditions. And a little steam coming off his bowl of porridge, and he's smiling about that. Okay, here was sometimes they seem simpler than they actually are, but this one looks simple. It's like a figure 8. And inside it, I found this guy. I forget the guy. He's some writer in Poland or something like that. There's like a wood statue of him. I cut out some of the pieces around him and turned them blue and put them against green. I don't know. I thought it was kind of interesting looking. Let's see. Here goes Thursday, January 20th. Oh, yeah. This is hard to explain, but up here in the upper right, there's like 4 Moai statues on this rock-covered bridge, which had a Masada-like shape, if you know what that is, Bible stuff. But it did have this guy, which I turned into something else, like a lizard guy, holding up this platform that sticks out from the front of it. And then I just turned the trail to get there into his tail. And I thought the background was interesting. That's just some mosaic tile from somewhere. And then these two wooden carvings of one, what looks like sisters to me. One has her arm around the other, and they're just standing there, but their backs are against the fall over here, if possible. Let's see, Wednesday, January 19th. Now, this is one of the kinds that I like, but there's not a lot of drawing and over doodling. It's more about manipulating the photo and adding stuff in. Like, to me, it looks like she would be, this is red and blue, obviously. She's coming up, almost like she was a mermaid. Now she's not a mermaid. She's coming up, but she's going to flip up to this platform with this guy who has his arm up in the air. And you can see little outlines indicating motion until she gets back up there. And around the top head's like a starlight, kind of a sun-like thing. I like those, but I'm not exactly, they don't take that much to do, really. So here's one from Tuesday, Jan 18th, where once a week, Linda and I watch this thing on YouTube called Bob Blast. He has his own little unique style to doing acrylic paintings. And he's very professory, teachery. He's interesting. And we watch him once a week because once a week he has a short or long video. And he's big on loosening up. He's big on painting the negative space around images. So I gave that an attempt digitally. And then I just added this Lady Venus from the clamshell with a clock inside what looks like a broken bottle that has flowers in it. I enjoyed that one. Monday, Jan 17. More of that time thing with the Sci-Fi Moon, like up in the sky, red. I like the colors in it. Hopefully those are showing up. I can make this brighter. I should have started that way. Oh well. I can you see the clocks in the water, you can see the colors in the water. And like I say, I don't really have, it's just how it turns out. Now this one was a little planning because I wanted to take a cube, and I like this dude down here in the lower corner. Oh, that's also a sculpture somewhere. I do have the original images for these if some point I had to give attribution, which I don't have to according to the sites I'm getting it from. But if I did, in the photo name is the person that took the photo. But this is a clear crystal cube, and I put the two faces in here and the lady that looks worried over here. And on this side is a lady walking away but looking back at us, kind of ghostly like. I like that one. And then for, I don't know, about a week or so, we were going to get participate in some local theater, but that didn't pan out. So this was on my mind. So I thought I'd take one of those old amphitheaters, a picture of that, add in some people ghostly like Romans trying to look down and watch what's going on with these pictures from a much later age. This guy's an actor, I think, in Britain or somewhere. And this is just a cartoon. A guy's surrounded by butterflies or talking mouths. I forget what it is. Oh, bells. He's got bells all around him while they're on the stage there. Plus, I just like those colors. But anyway. Now, this is Thursday, Jan 13. This was a bit of work for me. Because you got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you can barely see, 7 heads. They all had to be trimmed, fussy cut, they would say in paper collage. And then this guy is really just like a mold that's meant to help you study the face and get to learn the planes of a face. And for each one of the planes there, I put a head in. That's a lady at the top there. Even in the mustache I added to this, there's a guy, or actually a few people peeking through. You can see the nose and the mouth there above his mouth. And that's a wooden sculpture that I put over top of the clay one. So let's move on here. Hopefully I'm not going too slowly. Let's see. I'm at 19 minutes, so I'm going to speed it up here. That was, again, another library-like theme. You can see multiple hands. The lady come up the water, 2 ladies on either side, 2 lions down there at the bottom, and a pool, and a very big library with multiple levels. Next, a simple one. I got a lady, some graffiti wall somewhere. I put one above and one below. And then connecting them, I put stars with different faces on them. Some days you aren't all that inspired, but I still like it. And this is one which I won't go into, but should be a separate video about how time and space can be perceived in our lives, starting here, pregnancy, working our way around this worm shape, being happy, not happy, playful, not playful, contemplative, back at work, family, friends, on, getting transcendental or whatever, then around this curve and out there at the end, the cane signifying old age. But I'll come back to that someday. And I think that I called this to port, which is this old, looks to me like a sailor-like guy with some weird hat and coat on. And he's looking to his left, which is probably the wrong direction, looking to his left at a boat going by, as though he's remembering. And then this was my take, if you've ever seen The Matrix. My take, if you've ever seen The Matrix on the key maker. It looks like a dwarf with a bunch of keys, but the green and black along the sides is the hint of a matrix. Yet another key theme. You see keys all over the place in this bizarre hallway that goes back to a big door. There was a spider, but I don't see it anymore. I must have changed my mind. But I do like how that looks, the colors, how they came out. Here's yet another picture of that girl who's very popular on these free photo websites. The one with her feet together sitting on top of that glass jar, which has a lid on it, which has a girl inside it. And then outside of that, what I would call like a, I don't know, magician or something. You can see her echoed up here in the circle. It's water, wet. Don't ask me what it means. And this one was thinking about owls and cobwebs in front of them. And there's this bizarre statue, which is really hard to see now, right down the middle. I like that one for some reason. Okay, here we go. This is January 2nd. We're almost there. This was me seeing a Christmas, one of those bags you can put a gift in, and it has a drawstring at the top, but it's really gold. When I looked at it, inside of the wrinkles in it and how the light was laying on it, I saw this person running along while being followed by two hummingbirds holding this dragon. And so I tried to do that by looking for the images. The one running is hand-drawn, blurry. The birds were hand-drawn, and then I put birds over top of it. The dragon's just cut from a free image. But the background is actually the bags, and the things are in the places where I saw them. It's interesting. I'm not sure. Art. And we're on the, I was still working on the major arcana for a possible tarot deck. Maybe not. But this was my judgment card, which, you know, all the obvious things are there. Hand, the ankh, the trumpet, decisions, the on and on. And then the last one, I was just before judgment. I was working on the sun, and I like this one with the lions. That's pretty simple. Hint of Egyptian back there. Another symbol over here in the sand that you can see, and birds. So that was what I wanted to do with this. Instead of doing music, maybe next time I'll switch back to music. So with that, I hope everybody's doing well, and I say peace.